Hello, welcome back to The Weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Thank you so much for your company. Now, have we got a cracking, fruity even, final half hour for you. But first, let's go back to the Trump in Scotland. Yes, the Donald is in Scotland. Now, there are a few protests going on. They've been planned in Aberdeen and Edinburgh, but also lots of people welcoming Donald Trump. I mean, protesters have been calling on First Minister John Swinney not to meet with the US president, expressing anger at what they termed the president's increasingly extreme policies. So joining me now is writer at Think Scotland, Dean Thompson. Dean, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Now, we've seen a small protest. It didn't seem to be huge amounts of people. We've also seen people welcoming Donald Trump. Surely it has to be a good thing for Scotland.
Well, certainly. If you think about the national interest, the 47th President of the United States, with the wave of a Sharpie pen, could make or break key Scottish industries. We're talking about, what, £1 billion of Scottish whisky exports go to the United States alone. In terms of the Hollywood and films and the screen industry, you're talking £627 million and almost 11,000 jobs. The economic relationship between the United States and Scotland is essential, and it requires statesmanship from the First Minister of Scotland. He should meet with Donald Trump and he should smile and shake his hand, because he should not be playing to the peanut gallery when jobs and business and economic welfare of the country is on the line. It's statesmanship, it's leadership. You have to meet with leaders.
As I say, Dean, it would be the ultimate insult, wouldn't it, if John Swinney, who obviously has no great affection politically for Donald Trump, didn't meet him or didn't have any engagement with him at all?
Well, if you want to be the First Minister of Scotland, if you want to be a leader, and we all know the Scottish Government, the SNP, like to go beyond the limits of devolution and talk about and play around with international affairs, then they have to actually accept the burden of that. And that means you have to show statesmanship. You have to smile and be diplomatic and work with people from whichever country, whichever strategic relationship that is essential for Scotland. It's not about whether John Swinney likes President Trump personally or not. It's about what's the most important priorities for Scotland and more generally the United Kingdom. It's very important that this goes well, and I think we've seen this with the Scotland Secretary, Ian Murray, the UK government. 2019, he voted in Parliament as a backbencher to stop Trump coming to visit. Now as Secretary of State of Scotland, he's up and he's smiling and he's doing his bit to welcome the President, because he's realised that maturity comes with the burden of high office.
Exactly, no, it really does. And we just watched one of the small protests there, and I could see at least 3 Palestinian flags, and I don't think I saw any Scottish flags whatsoever. What do you make of this?
I think the Viva Palestina sort of thing is a bit like the younger generation's version of the Che Guevara T-shirt. I don't think a lot of thought goes into it. After all, if there was a bit more thought, people would remember that Israel was attacked by a militant, maybe burning, throat-chopping terrorist organisation and are fighting a defensive war. The idea that the burden and onus is on Israel to end a conflict that they did not start is just not true. Maybe if Hamas laid down the weapons and freed the hostages and stopped hiding behind their own people, we could finally have peace.
Yeah, OK. Thank you very much for joining us. That's Dean Thompson, who's a writer at Think Scotland, about the warmth, I think, in general there is for Donald Trump and this visit. Donald Trump loves Scotland. You know, his mum is from Scotland. And surely it has to be a good thing for trade and for industry and for tourism, all of those things.